Oh, dude, he just smacked my Master Sword away.
There's no way he's going to hold me back again. This time we fight together.
Alright, so this is Ganon's beast form, so let's see what Navi has to say.
Ganon, I really have no idea what his weak point is.
Great help, Navi. Shut up! Shut up, Navi! Stop talking! Shut your mouth! If you had one! Alright, just had to let that out because it's the last few times we had to do that. So now that we have no sword, or hint hint, we do have a sword. Oh, what the heck? I could climb up there? Haha! Oh god! Alright. We do have another sword in our disposal, which is, of course, the Corkery sword. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Big Goron sword, so let's go ahead and do it. Just for the time being. Now, we can't actually kill Ganon with the Big Goron sword. It has to be the Master Sword, which is why it's smacked away and we can't do much about it. But there's a couple things you could do. So if I'm putting my regular arrows here, we could briefly stun him and he'll shake his head and you have to attack its tail. But it's brief. The real thing to really stun him is to use the light arrows, but that costs us a lot of magic. As you can see, it's MP4 compared to the MP2s out here. So that is why. Oh, he's not really doing that. Okay, well, use the light arrow on his face, and then it'll aim at his tail, and you could just straight up slash it, or you could use light arrows or whatever it is for double the damage. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, it's not paying attention too much. Light arrow that. Oh, I missed that. Alright, light arrow again. And with all these other buildings, you might have noticed already, it'll give some magic, and not only that, it'll sometimes give hearts as well, just depending. I'm pretty sure you could also do this with the hook shot, doing the same effect as you did with the arrows, but that's how you essentially would do it. Where the heck did I go? Okay. What I used to do as a kid, actually, because I had less magic and less hearts, and it was a really difficult battle for me. You would go between the legs and then slash it, and that's what I usually did. But I didn't have the Big Goron sword was the thing, because another thing that you could use is the Megaton Hammer. So if you use the Megaton Hammer, go through the legs. I know you could. The Megaton Hammer you could use as well, but it's a bit more limited because you have to go right up and personal on this girl. So there we go. I'm gonna shoot you light arrow and miss. That's cool too. So just use what you can, all your resources. Oh boy, bombs. Well, I mean, I guess we could try bombs. Why not? We could try to throw bombs in the back. And Deku Nuts are also going to be very helpful. I don't use Deku Nuts enough. Does that hurt? Come on. Oh, dang it. He has a very wide range over there. Let me use some Deku Nuts, see if that works. Alright. Deku Nut. And it does the same effect. Haha! Oh, what the heck? That does damage. I didn't think that was going to do damage. I thought it was just going to stun him more. Alright, some more damage for you. Throw some bombs just for yucks and ducks. Oh, Jesus. Blow up! Blow up, please! Blow up! Alright, well, that's fine. You know why that's fine? Because I got this. Oh, that's a lot of damage right there. Oh, flex tape, am I right? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Oh, what the heck? Can't just snap out. My snap out? Slash! There we go. Now that he's knocked down, we can go get our Master Sword and try to do the final blow on him. Link, the Master Sword is here. Hurry up! Don't rush me! I'm doing my best! Alright, let's get our Master Sword back. And it's automatically equipped to us because we have to finish this battle with it. Use the Master Sword. Destroy Ganon with the Sacred Sword. Okay, I will. Come with me, Zelda. Oh, gee. Zelda! Dang it! Oh, that could have been helpful. Oh, jeez. He's not down yet. Ha! Yeah. Now with the Master Sword, the Blade of Evil's Bane, I should be able to do this right. Okay. Light Arrow. To really stun him, to maximize that. With the Master Sword, a couple more attacks should do it. Oh god, he turned around so fast. Alright. Oh, I barely have any more magic. Splash! A couple more hits. What the heck, man? He keeps lifting his tail too much. Zelda, use Ferrar's Wind quick! He can't find me behind here. Ah! Oh, dude, there's so many fairies. You're screwed now. The fairies are on my side. Unlike Navi. I mean, what? Oh, God. Oh, shoot. Fairy power. Oh, I said fairy power. Oh, it disappeared. Oh my god, I got ricocheted. It just swatted me on the fire. Alright, one more hit. Oh god, no, 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 no. I'm sure one more hit. Oh, two more hits. Oh god. Alright, this is the last of my magic. Oh, not quite. It's close. No, dang it. I'm trying to roll. Oh, I need to knock him down again. I don't have enough magic. Shoot, I knew it. Ah, freaking 4 magic thing. Oh god. Oh. Bombs. Come on, bomb, do your trick. Blow up. Dang it. I usually do it without Z targeting because it kind of distracts, is what I noticed. Then do that. There you go. Come on. I'm so close. Do it again. That's what I always did as a kid. Ugh. Okay, one more jump attack should really do it. Feel it now. This is it. Oh boy. No, no, no. Don't target. You can't attack me if you keep doing it. Yes! Oh, no, not yet. Over! There we go. Now this is it. This beast version of Ganon that's supposed to be a pig, but I wasn't ever sure as a kid. I always thought it was like a dragon or something. A dragon beast. Dragon beast pig line. I don't know. Using my power to hold the evil king, use your sword and deliver the final blow. Alright, let's do it. And with this, my Master Sword is reacting. Fully powered up. Let's charge. Do the final blow. Finish! Six sages, now! Ancient creators of Hyrule. Now, open the sealed door and send the evil incarnation of darkness into the void of the evil realm. Yo! Curse you, Zelda! Curse you, sages! Curse you, Link! Someday, when the seal is broken, that is when I will exterminate your descendants! As long as the Triforce of Power is in my hand. My descendants could kick his butt. I have no question about my descendants. My descendants could whip his ass, in fact. Thank you, Link. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world. For a time. No. It's okay. My descendants got this. My son got this. My grandson got this. My grandson got this. We got this. We're good. It's okay. All the tragedy that has befallen Hyrule was my doing. No, you're being too hard on yourself. Really think about it. This is all Ganondorf's doing. It has nothing pertain to you. You, if anything, you're the one that warned everybody to begin with. Nobody believed in you, except for Impa and me. If it wasn't for you, I hadn't gotten all the other spiritual stones, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even put Ganondorf in the evil realm to begin with. That's all what you did. You did nothing wrong. You didn't know about the Ocarina of Time and what it did to open the Sacred Realm. That's not your fault. That's what Ganondorf wanted all along. You're being too hard on yourself. I was so young, I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the Sacred Realm. I mean, you weren't trying to control it either, I don't know. I dragged you into it too. Now it's time for me to make up for my mistakes. Again, you're being way too hard on yourself. It's not your fault at all. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. Link, give the Ocarina to me. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. When peace returns to Hyrule, it will be time for us to say goodbye. Now, go home, Link. Regain your lost time. Home, where you're supposed to be, the way you are supposed to be. Thank you, Link. Goodbye. And that is it for Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I would like to thank all you guys and at the same time apologize because this series has been my longest series only for the fact that pretty much there's hiatus upon hiatus upon hiatus, like my worst one that I really wish I was a bit more consistent, but I had no control over that. I had to try my best just to put this out on time, and if you haven't noticed, like I hadn't posted the same like since around the 600 video special. Like I mentioned that I had recently got a job and I barely have personal time or privacy to do anything. Like I had to really force myself to make it happen, and I'm more likely putting this out on time, but it's really worth it. Like ever since the bottom of the well, I'm really close to doing this. I might as well really push to do it by New Year's, and that's why I wanted to do it. The reason for, like I said, I was a dumb kid that couldn't even figure out the Forest Temple and beat the game eventually, obviously, and I actually beat the game in New Year's Eve pretty much. So that's why I have it on this day. It's very fitting. I finally beat the game, and I was always that one kid that people went to figure out how to, beat the water temple, because I beat it without problems. I never had a problem with the water temple. I don't know why. The only time is when there was a locked door and I didn't have a key, so I just went and get it and then and there or whatever. But yeah, there were some parts in Legend of Zelda where I feel like I could have done better. You know, like all the gold Skulltulas or heart containers that I missed out on. I feel like I could have done that better, and I could have had episodes shorter, because this series is just about the same size as Majora's Mask. But the only reason for the amount of episodes being the same is because the episodes just were longer, which is why I could have made them shorter, but I tried to organize them best as I could. Essentially, most of the episodes are like more than 30 minutes to an hour long, but you know. But yeah, other than that, I wanted to talk about the timeline pretty much, because there are 3 timelines. Link is returned back to his lost childhood because, just remember, he was like 10 or 11 years old, and growing up, he missed out on his childhood and his adolescence to be what a lot of people expect him to be the hero of time. So he missed out on all of that. So it's really nice to have him relive what he missed out on. But there are 3 different timelines ever since he pulled the Master Sword. There's the past timeline, where Ganondorf still exists and not in the evil realm, and there's also the future timeline where we defeated him. But there's also a 3rd timeline that Hyrule Historia says. By the way, this part right here, you see the running man with the bunny hood, there's actually an alternative scene with him with that one if you didn't complete that side quest. Is the only difference, and that's what I was talking about before. Anyway, about the timeline thing, the failed one is an interesting one because there's no alternate thing happening if you lose to Ganondorf or Ganon. You just game over and you just start over the fight. There's no alternative scenes showing you about this, which makes me theorize that perhaps maybe something interfered for making us lose that battle for Ganondorf to win and having the failed timeline. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens. So like, you know, for the future timeline, everybody here knows that Link saved the day and he's the hero of time. And then from here on, like games like Wind Waker, you see that they celebrate the hero of time. But however, in the past, it's not so much the case. They don't really celebrate it all much like that. You know, because like I said, like, you know, you still have to figure out how to defeat Ganondorf in the past. He's not just gone for good. This is future Ganondorf what we're talking about. Past Ganondorf's still around. And the way to do that is that we have to pretty much have the Hyrule army prepared and do something about them before Ganondorf even gets started. So there's that. And we notice that all the sages are there except for Rauru. So that's another thing why I feel like they are not dead. And Rauru is, because he's been dead for a while. He's reincarnated into the owl, Kaepora, also known as KG. But now, we're coming back to the Temple of Time as we're returning to our former state. And the thing is about this part right here, after the Master Sword being put back in place, for some reason, Navi the Fairy, her mission's complete. And she's saying goodbye. And then she just flies away. And this is the beginning of Majora's Mask, because he went on to look for her because he didn't understand why she just left. But there's another theory saying that Navi the Fairy ended up dying because when their missions are complete, they just kind of fade away and they just don't explain themselves. But yeah, we all know about the Majora's Mask thing and how that went about. Unless you haven't played the game. If you haven't, you should check out the Let's Play. It's a really good Let's Play. What else was I going to talk about? But yeah, the past thing. Like this part right here, I believe this is right after. This was before Ganondorf attacked everybody. Or, I don't know, I'm not exactly clear. This could either be one of two things. It could be the first time we meet Zelda, or this could be the time right before Ganondorf takes over. And I feel like this is the first meeting with him and Zelda, and Link is here to warn Zelda and convince the king and Impa to do something about Ganondorf, which, you know, later took the events of like Twilight Princess and all like that type of stuff. And then there's also like the failed timeline thing that I was talking about. But that's how it ends. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, such a fantastic game. Oh man. Yeah. Like I said, I could have done better in so much aspects. Maybe in the future I'll do something about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, because there is Master Quest, and then there is the 3DS version, and of course there's Majora's Mask, you know, 3DS version and all that type of stuff. And of course, like I said, voting has ended, but I feel like I really should continue it only because there's something big happening tomorrow, if I could get that down right. If I can't, then I don't know. This is going to be very awkward that I don't explain it right or whatever. I'm going to see if I could pull it off, because I don't know. We'll see. You don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll see. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys all so very much. You mean the world to me. And white tigers and dragons to you. And you've been scarred by the night. I'll see you in the next Let's Play. I'm out!